listen to the word public, right? What do you understand by it, public? Is this the public? सब जानती है? सुना होगा आपने public सब जानती है, right? Like sir said, obviously in 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 तक तो pub-ad and chole kulche were like same, right? Everybody had pub-ad, one of the subjects, right? So we were also part of the same process, right? But it was definitely a very evolved subject compared to that times also, and today also. It was probably one of the first subjects to get more evolved compared to the others. And why it was so? Because it is not a theoretical subject, it is more of an application, right, of whatever you are studying, obviously whatever you see, and then you have to, combine both of them. You may not exactly see what you are studying, right? Sometimes you have to extrapolate that idea that, okay, I'm talking about governance, right? Can anybody define what governance is? Everywhere we are using the word, right? Last 10 years, every newspaper, every article more or less talks about governance, every media house, okay, crying foul regarding the bad governance in this country, right? How do you define governance? Anybody? Like sir said, we should not be a monologue, right? Why you're making it a baggage? Don't be serious, be sincere, right? Serious होने के लिए मोदी जी हैं, क्यों आप serious हो रहे? He is very serious, right? So you have to be sincere, not serious. Anybody can define governance. Have you thought about it? Yeah, how you define governance?
The art of running day-to-day activity.
You have to explain it to, let's say, your younger brother. He will not understand this, no? In case, yeah. Yeah, please. Right. I promise you that we'll teach very well, right? And it's not being, I'm being modest, right? With all humility, nobody can teach better than us, right? Say, I promise that, right? Will I do it? Do you think, will we do it, what we have promised? You agree, no? Fine. Did you agree in 2014 that अच्छे दिन आएंगे? Did you agree or not? You agreed, right? On the basis of that, there will be good governance, right? Governance is the application of the promise that the government makes to you. As simple as that. Right? It's just applying the values and the philosophy which they talk about. Right? So when you talk about art of implementing or World Bank's definition of good governance, right? वो सब बोला जा सकता है. It's no big deal. But the problem is that when you understand things conceptually, right, you can tackle any question. When you just mug up the definition and you try to link what is written in the book, right, and then try to connect the question paper, ये question तो दिख ही नहीं रहा कहाँ है? इसलिए नहीं दिख रहा because you have not understood the undercurrent. You have just tried to borrow that word and fact and tried to apply it mechanically in the answer. That is not how it works. So if you are conceptually clear from the beginning, it will be so easy for you. कि आप क्वेश्चन पेपर देखोगे कुछ टाइम बाद और बोलेगा हाँ ये अब समझ में आ रहा है मुझे. अभी आप देखोगे, so people ask me that should we read the question? I say no, please don't go through it. Right? It's blasphemy to read the question paper before starting the preparation. ठीक है, आपको लगेगा मैं क्या पढ़ रहा हूँ, मार्क्स के बारे में कुछ बताया जा रहा है या एलन मस्क की अपनी थ्योरी है ये. Right? If you read the question paper, you will get demoralized. Why do you want to do it? It's illogical. Right? You have not read grammar and you are trying to correct errors, right, in a sentence. That is what you are doing. So don't read the question paper. Just think कि भाई अगर ये पढ़ा और उसके बाद मैं समझना कोशिश करता हूँ तो शायद better होगा, right? So when we say governance, like I said, it is just the application of the vision and the philosophy, right? What government says or claims. But this application is the biggest challenge. And this is where the importance of this administration comes. Right? So we are as administrators, we are not, obviously not, we are teachers, but you will be administrators. Administrators are what? They are the designers of future. What is the definition of an engineer? One who designs the future. Right? You engineer a change. That is what administrator does. So any administrator or whatever you study administration is just about the study of what will be the future changes required to make a good society. As simple as that. Public interest is primary concern of public administration. This is a fundamental aspect you should always keep in mind when you study public administration. Anything, policy, CPA, DA, we'll talk about each and every, there are administrative law, paper 2, there are so many things. But that is the fundamental concern when we say ethics in governance, good governance, right? Pro-people good governance, e-governance, too good governance, whatever you use. Only one concept or one philosophy you must remember, that what is the idea? It is the public interest which is more important. And what will serve the public interest the best possible way? This is the concern of every theory that we are going to study. Right? Every knowledge that people are developing today, that is the idea. So if you start public administration or study, right, without any biasness, right, like sir said, obviously there are no facts, there are myths, a lot of myths, right? If I say geography is not scoring since last 5-6 years, then that is true. But it's not just about geography is not scoring. There are so many people from political science who have not qualified, right? And they want to study PubEd now. There are many students of PubEd who did not qualify and they went to study Pol Science. There are students who have qualified from Hindi literature. There are students who have qualified from other literature also, from mathematics, right? My first attempt was physics and PubEd. Being an engineer, I've studied physics, obviously extensively I studied it, right? Meanwhile, I was doing law also from the Delhi University at that time. So I was having some understanding of the constitution and polity. But I got good marks in PubEd, 308 in first attempt. And physics 226, pathetic. So what I thought I knew, right, I failed miserably in that. What I thought I did not know, I scored very well in that. So your scoring, okay, has nothing to do with your background, first of all. And probably scoring has nothing to do with the subject also. Any subject can be scoring. Okay, PubEd is more relevant. PubEd is more instrumental in your success. Why? Because it minimizes a lot of time. You ask any student this year, the marks have been still low for every optional, most of the optional, right? Okay. Because 𝗕𝗁𝐺 was our student, okay, that 36th rank, Munali was a student, class student, right? They've got 260, 270 like this they've got. Right? It doesn't matter because the overall scale has come down. So your optional has to be instrumental, but what they've done, they've scored very well in ethics. Okay, some have scored very well in paper 2, GS paper 2. This year the marks have increased in GS paper 2. And also in essay. Even though essay is not totally out of the context of the optional. Right? Mostly philosophical essays are coming. But still, you get a lot of knowledge and insight into your entire domain of preparation through public administration, only if you use it effectively. The problem is you don't use it effectively. You think that I'll study and next day I will encounter a good question in GS and I'll write it. Right? GS and subject and optional has a different orientation altogether.